guys, welcome to my channel and welcome if you're new. My name is Colleen. Today I'm going to be showing you all the tips and techniques that I use on my eyeshadow. So if you guys want to see how to make your eyes look bigger and more doe-like, then just keep watching. Alright, so I do have a video on how to create this glowy contoured face base, if you will. This is kind of what I do on a daily basis. I will either amp it up or tone it down depending on what I am doing for the day. But this is just my foundation, concealer, contour routine, highlight, all of the above. This video is just going to focus on eyes. If you guys want to see how I created this contoured, structured look on my face, then go on over to that video. And I'll link it right down below. So I'm going to start off with the brows. I advise you, if you guys want to do a darker look or a lighter look, I have played around with doing your eyeshadow first and then your eyebrows, because then depending on what type of look you want to do, if you want to go like really dark black, or if you want to go in the opposite direction, like really light, shimmery, natural, then if you do your brows afterwards, you can really kind of adjust your brows to match that look, because you don't want to be starting with your brows first, doing a really strong brow, and then deciding you want to do a natural look. I think it would look a little bit weird. But today I am going to start with my brows first. I find for me, I kind of know what I want out of my brow, so I like to create more of a structured brow. It's definitely not natural, but it is more wearable, if you know what I mean. I'm not going to go for a super bold look, but I'm kind of somewhere in between. So I'm going to be going in with the Anastasia Dipbrow. This is in the shade Taupe. I absolutely love this color. I like this better than the blonde color just because it has more of a cool undertone. So if you're using a pomade or cream type of brow product, you do not want to be going straight from the pot, because that's going to give you a really strong look, unless that's what you want. But I'm more into the natural-ish brow, so I like to just take a bit of the pomade, put it on my cap, and then work from the cap. Just take little pieces off of the chunk that I have there. And for my brows, I like to start on the top line. I'm not going to go all the way in. Just start kind of a quarter of the way from the inside. And I do little strokes. I'm not doing like a big line. Just little tiny strokes to blend in the product. I don't want to go all the way in because it doesn't create a very natural look. You want to leave that fluffy inner corner. And then I'm going to go in right underneath the brow, and this part I do go all the way in. I like to make a nice line here. And then go all the way underneath the brow. And then once I've done the underneath part, I'll connect it from that top arch all the way back. And I do slightly extend the tail, just straight out, not down, not up, straight out from that line. And then fill in any gaps. So again, I start a quarter of the way out, do the top, go all the way in, do the bottom line, connect from the arch back, and then fill in. So after you've finished filling in the brow, I'm going to go in with some clear brow gel. This is the Maybelline Great Lash. We're going to use this to comb through the brows and kind of blend things together, as well as seal those brows in place. I do kind of have longer brow hairs, so if I don't do this step, my hair will like sink down during the day and kind of point down, so I definitely need to do this step to keep them in place. So we're all done with the brow. Again, I really recommend you guys do brows. It's really crucial for your face shape. I think it really does change the whole look of your face when you do your brows. It really does complement all the structuring and contouring that you do. I think if you do all of your makeup and then leave your brows, it looks really bizarre. So we're gonna move on to eyeshadow, and I will take you guys back in. And this is just a little pimple. I don't know how I got that, so please disregard that. So the first step that I do to do my eyeshadow to make my eyes look bigger in a way is to do shimmery shadow just all over the lid. You can certainly do a matte shadow, but I prefer shimmery shadows. I feel like it makes my eyes pop. It makes them look more round and defined. And it'll really bring the center of my lid forward while we contour the crease and everything. So I'm going in with the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. Today I'm going to be using a combination of these two shades. This is a medium toned bronzy brown color, and this is just a light gold. I think using two shades really gives you dimension, especially with this gold. It really brings out the gold undertones in the brown. So I'm just going to literally just mix those two together, kind of like this. And we're focusing that shimmer right on the lid, all over. So after you've put your shimmery lid color down, we're going to go in and do the crease, but with a matte color. You don't really want to be doing shimmery color in your crease because it kind of gives it like a weird blown out look, where if you are really wanting to create the look of a larger eye, you want to kind of use that crease color as a contour shade if you were to contour your eye. So we are going to be doing it kind of in a way to make a shadow to make your eye look bigger than it really is. So we're going in first with a lighter matte color. I'm going to be using this middle tone brown, which is kind of it's a very similar shade to that bronzy one that we use, just in a matte version. And I'm just using a domed crease brush. And you really want to tap off as much extra as you can, because in the first stages of doing your crease, you don't want to be using a lot of product. You really just want to be focusing on the transition of that lid color to the brow bone. So you want to be using a light amount of product, just blend it out. And so for this, I'm not bringing it in very far. I'm kind of stopping just between the pupil and my nose, kind of right in the middle here, just stopping there. But I am really extending this out towards the tail end of my brow. So again, you don't want to stop here. If you want to create a larger looking eye, you want to be bringing this crease shade outwards. Then we're going to go in with a slightly darker matte brown. So we just used this one, now we're using this one, a little bit darker, still matte. And this one we're not going to bring quite far up into the brow bone. We're going to really focus it directly in that crease and not kind of blend it all over like we were doing. So we're just, with this one, we're just creating that line. I'm going to start right in the center of my eye because that's where I want the most color. And then I'm going to blend it forward as well as backwards. And when you bring it forward, you want to stop right before you go all the way in. Stop right here. But when you go out, you do want to bring it out again, just like that other color. So you can already see we're creating that elongated eye, which is really what's going to make your eye look larger. So after you've done the crease, I'm going to just hit the brow bone with a lighter shade, just to bring that forward a little bit. I'm using this cream shadow. We're just going to add a bit of that cream, just to bring that forward and really make that brow bone stand out. This is also just going to wipe off any bit of that crease color that got up too high. So we're going to move on to the bottom of our eye, and this is what's really going to tie things together and create that elongated eye shape, which will give you that big almondy dough shaped eye. So I'm going in with that lighter toned matte brown. And for this, I start at the corners of my eye and kind of bring the majority of the shadow right to the inner third. And then I'm going to go in with that darker matte. And I'm only going to focus this one on the outside. And this one you can kind of wrap around if you want, just to connect the top eyeshadow to the bottom. And I flick that one out as well. This brush has the pencil side as well as a flat side, so I'm going to take this flat shaped side and blend out the bottom lash line with the medium toned matte brown. For this, I'm going to be focusing it again from that inner third out. I'm not going in very far, just right on the inner third, but I am going to be swinging this all the way out, and that's really going to connect that corner and elongate your eye shape. And I am kind of bringing this down quite far. I'm not really doing it right at the lash line, kind of bringing it down, kind of smoking it out. That is going to open up your eye as well. I think the most important part about a look like this, if you want to really open up your eye shape and make your eyes look bigger, is to do that really smoked out, elongated look. And you see how it kind of follows the line of my brow as well. So everything kind of leads to the outer corners. So after you've really smoked out the bottom lash line and connected it with that top shadow, I find that sometimes it gets a little messy back here. So you can either take your foundation brush and wipe it off, or I just take my finger, and I feel like it works better just to clean up that line right here. I'm literally just wiping it up, and you can see it cleaned up that line. It really elongated the shape and made it less kind of muddy in a way, and it really doesn't mess up my foundation or concealer or anything. It just cleans up that line. Then I'm going to go into the inner corner. I'm going to be using a champagne pink. You really can use anything shimmery and light. And I do bring this slightly up the side of my nose. I find that that as well kind of opens up that whole area rather than just on your tear duct. You want to do this whole area. That'll really elongate the shape of your eye as well. Okay, so now at this stage we have done all of the eyeshadow. You can certainly move on and do eyeliner. I would not do black eyeliner if you want to make your eyes look bigger. If you want to do black eyeliner, I would only do it right on the lash line. If you want to do a wing, that's obviously going to open up your eye, create that elongated look as well. I would certainly not do an eyeliner on the bottom lash line if you want to sustain this open-eyed, doe-eyed look. It really just kind of closes off your eye if you do a liner on the bottom, which is certainly fine if you're going for a smokier look. I find that if I put black liner on the bottom, it really just closes off my eye. So if you wanted to do a liner on the bottom, I would stick to a nude or even a white, just right on the waterline, and that will kind of open up your eye as well. But I don't really do that on a day-to-day basis. I just would move on to mascara at this point, which is what we're going to do. So I'm going in with the Doucce Maxlash Volumizer mascara. This is one of my favorite mascaras at the moment. It has a big fluffy brush. It has those natural bristles, so it'll create a really fluffy lash. And I always start with my bottom lashes, because when you do your bottom lashes, you have to look down if you think about it, and those top lashes will touch your brow bone when you do that. So you don't want to be starting with your top lashes, because when you look down, they're gonna touch and put dots all over your perfect eyeshadow that you just worked so hard on. So I'm going to start with the bottom lashes. And when I do my mascara, I tend to put it on quite thick, and I do multiple layers. I find that for me, that's really what makes a huge difference to make my eyes look bigger, is nice thick mascara that makes your lashes long and full and luscious. And I will take those inner lashes and push them inwards as well. So again, I am focusing on the inner corner. You definitely don't want to skip those lashes. For the center, I'm going straight up, and then the outer corner, I'm bringing them out, and you do not want to forget these ones either, because they make a huge difference in opening up your eye. And that kind of creates that round look, round almondy look, which is what we accentuated with the crease and the eyeshadow and everything. And we are all done with the look. At this point, you can certainly add lipstick if you want. On a day-to-day basis, I just go with some gloss or chapstick, and I like to leave the lips bare. But yes, this is the eyeshadow that I do just on a day-to-day basis. I'll switch up the colors, make it either darker or lighter, depending on what I want to do for that day. But these were the techniques that I used to make my eyes look bigger and really elongate the shape of my eye. But I hope you guys found this helpful, and let me know what you think about it. If you guys have any other tips and tricks on what techniques do you use on your eyes. If you guys want to watch the corresponding video to this one, I did my go-to face base, my contour highlight routine, and how I create that structured, slimmer face look. I'll link that down below. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day or night or evening or wherever you are in the world. Don't forget to subscribe to all of my socials. I'm going to leave that at the end of the video for you, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye guys.
I would watch you stare. I would watch you stare. Oh, but there's no one